Hey guys, what's going on? So, I went through a lot of different titles for this video, and how to like feature this or like what I wanted to focus on. One of them was going to be there are Treants in this Treant deck, right? There was a part of me that was like, if I get this video ends when I get 4 Treants, because like it takes a while. Spoiler alert. But then like what ended up happening and the actual reason why I want to showcase this is the very simple reason that Gadget is insane. I have not read all of the different changes with all the different heroes. But Gadget has always been one of my favorite heroes ever since I started this game. Ever since it was the best hero when I started this game, when they only had Zeus and Zeus didn't even have tiles yet, and Gadget tiles were the best thing because attack speed was the best thing until they started just giving you get a tile, you get a tile, you get tiles to everything else. And it became like Gadget became less special. And the only change that we've ever really wanted from Gadget is just to be able to get more tiles. The damage on all of these things, like they're doing like anvil damage increase. None of this matters. When you start facing like death waves in the point where it's going to matter, it doesn't matter. Like you're not wiping out waves with your Gadget ability. The anvil crit chance. I can upgrade the anvil crit chance. I can anvil damage increase. I can upgrade the damage. No. I upgraded my Gadget with all my extra shards that I've been gathering ever since I maxed out Gadget. It all went to this. Additional activation chance 40%. Your original is 25%. You have a 40% additional, and then an additional effect after spending 80 ability points. If all tiles on the field have mechanisms in them, the chance of the golden mechanism appearing increases even further. Once you literally have now that I have 80, I have I'm a level 90. I have a level 90 Gadget. The ability to get 65% as an increase to gold Gadget tiles as soon as you fill up your Gadget. And like once you get like three Gadget mechanisms at a time, and you have second wind, so your chance of even getting or your hero cooldown getting even faster, all of this just like starts to stack. And this is me without the Gadget item as well. Because with the Gadget item, I think you get an additional like chance as well. The Eternal Engine, your chance goes up through that as well. And then you can also obviously get the hammers to get the cooldown so that you can get even more than that. Gadget is madness. And if this gameplay is any indication, like you can literally fill up your entire board with Gadget that is a real possibility now. And that's basically it. You guys have seen me play this deck. If you don't understand it, essentially what it is it's a Treant deck with Sharpened Spear. You run Sharpened Spear so that you can get maximum usage out of your entire field. I'm running Gadget because I can get maximum value by running multiple units. It's not a 1-unit deck. I hate 1-unit decks. I include Dark Inquisitor, Monk. You guys know my thoughts on High Arcanist Crystalmancer. Spirit Master is kind of it's like a 4-unit deck, like a Tesla deck is like a 4-unit deck. I like, oh my god, I like decks where you have the ability to just run a large quantity of units, and that's where Gadget like really excels. A Fortuna obviously, but a Fortuna excels in every deck. And the whole idea behind this deck is to maximize all of your Gadget tiles, to utilize all of your spaces, and it's essentially what the main mechanic of this deck is to get your Gunslinger to 7, It's made easier with Crystalmancer. Crystalmancer doubles as both defense reduction from the Crystal Arcanist ability, but also the Absorb Energy ability allows it to self-upgrade. And so when it starts going into the late game, you don't have to catch Scrapper hits with your Gunslinger, because for the majority of the main, of the early game, what you're going to do is you're going to want to do what I just did right there, which is when your Scrapper is going to hit something, you move your Gunslinger to that spot so that your Gunslinger levels up. The Gunslinger in this deck works so much better than probably any other deck, because what you can do, like mid-game Death Wave, like level 9, like right before Death Waves or in Death Waves, if your gadget tiles go into like different spots, because gadget tiles are random, your gold tiles are random, and so if you have the ability to basically reconfigure your entire board based on where your gadget tiles are and where you can get the maximum value out of it. I'm also running Growth Tile here. So I will always keep the Knight statue in that spot, in that center spot, and then have the surrounding things be all the growth. I'm sorry, the growth tiles, the two growth tiles right there. I'll always basically have that Knight statue right there because it's a very convenient spot to be. Where that growth tile is. He nixed out one of my growth tiles, which is a big hit to me. By having Witch, and so the Witch is obviously gonna nix out that one growth tile, but then I just use it as a ditch tile, and it's just to build up my other growth tiles. But essentially what you're doing is you're getting a Gunslinger to 7, and then when you use your mana ability, it's upgrading all 7 of your Treants. You are gonna run 7 Treants, and it's the entire idea behind it is Mycelium Masters. Basically, when your Treant gets to level 4, it's now gaining stacks, and all of the stacks are shared, and so you get a 0.8% damage increase per leaf counter, and then after 70, it's reduced to 0.2. But when your Treants are 4, that's when that number starts to count towards damage stacks. When you hit your levels, when you get a Gunslinger that's a level 7 and you hit your mana ability, 7 different Treants get 1 stack, and that's plus 7 stacks to the damage of all of your Treants. Essentially what's happening is if you had less Treants, you don't get the same amount of stacks. So like, let's say you had 6 Treants and you had a level 7 Gunslinger and you minus that down, your 6 Gunslingers don't, like one Gunslinger doesn't get 2 stacks and then the other ones get 1, you just get 6 stacks. And then you miss out on a stack. And so essentially what you're trying to do is get 7 Treants as quick as you can, get a level 7 Gunslinger, and then you're just getting 7 stacks, 7 stacks, 7 stacks, because that is your entire damage base on your Treants. That is all multiplied with defoliation. The number of leaves received from using mana power-up has a 40% chance to be doubled. And then Power of the Grove, you get extra counters that way as well. I want to say that Zeus is the best hero, but I could also see a Fortuna being the best hero because Fortuna is the best hero. But obviously, like if you had a Zeus, that would also be good because every time you use your Zeus power up, your Zeus mana or your Zeus hero power, then the Treants that you have on those tiles would go up a level. And that would be additional stacks on 4 Treants as well. I do like this build. It's my budget-friendly build, and it's like the amount of gadget tiles that you're getting is also helping you out with Mushroom Nausea as well. Every 15th time any Treant attacks, it throws a 300% damage Toxic Mushroom. And so the faster your Treants can attack with your Knight statue, with your gold tiles, the faster they're attacking, you're getting 300% bonus damage on a singular attack every 15th attack. but you know, when you multiply that with all of your Treants, and then you start to multiply that with just the attack speed that you're getting from all of your different things. This is me also not even having a high charisma on my gunslinger. I have the level of gunslinger that you need. It's a level 13. It is a level 13 gunslinger. Or I'm sorry, it is a level 12 gunslinger. And I just need the orbs, which I will get in 5 hours. And then this deck becomes even better. Because then I can give not only the Knight Statue bonus, but also an additional 15% speed bonus. Mushroom Nausea is also stunning targets, so theoretically that could also help you. It doesn't normally come into play, but it could if you were gonna die at the same time as your opponent. You stunning might actually help. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't care too much about stacks on my Knight Statues. I don't necessarily know if it's that big of a difference. At best, you want to get 30 stacks. Anything beyond that it doesn't really do enough. 1.2% up to 30 times, and then you get 0.3 after that. 1.2, you're getting, you know, like 30%, 35%, something in that area. You can do the math. But you're getting like a 30% bonus damage if you get to 30. And then everything beyond that, it rises at too slow of a rate for it to matter, unless it's easy. Unless your board setup is where you can do the diagonal stacking. If you don't know what that is, I have a Sharpened Spear video when I use this with Floral Frenzy. It was called Sharpen Frenzy. You can look up that video. And you can technically do that here, but I'd rather utilize all of the gold tiles more than getting efficient stacks. I just simply don't care. This deck, at my crit level, I'm at like 5,200, 5,400 crit. I'm consistently getting like somewhere between like 5 minutes and 6 minutes in death waves at a consistent rate. The one problem with this deck, and I say the only problem with this deck, is that you cannot play this deck if you have lag. Because the early game is so dependent on you catching scrapper hits with your gunslinger, if you have even a little bit of lag, you can't level up your gunslinger, at which point you really can't level up anything. Your Crystalmancers don't rise fast enough in the early game, and so if you can't actively catch scrapper hits with your gunslinger in the early game, like, it's a little bit more forgiving obviously in the late game when your Crystalmancers are 5s and 6 and your Knight Statues are 5s and 6s and 7s, and it's a little bit more forgiving in the later game to not catch a scrapper hit. But in that early game, you want to get stacks as fast as you can. This isn't even like an efficient game, because it took me so long to get 7 Treants to begin with. I think I had like a level 5 gunslinger when I had 3 level 1 Treants, and that just doesn't work. You need all 7 on the board, and that's when you're getting maximum value out of your mana power ability. I came up with the idea of this deck when the Dark Faction level up bonus was happening, and that's when I really started to fall in love with this deck, or this build. I've tried Trapper. I don't think it's better than having Crystalmancer. Crystalmancer is specifically good in this deck because it levels up. Because when it goes into that late game, you have the ability to just mana power up every single chance that you get, because that is how your deck is gaining damage over the course of the game. It's just being able to hit that mana, the Treant ability, as much as you can. And just constantly just hitting that button and getting 7 stacks, and then getting 7 stacks, and then getting 7 stacks, which is multiplying because of your defoliation and your Power of the Grove abilities. But yeah, I think it's pretty good, and like, you see the amount of gold tiles, it's crazy. What is this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I have 9 gold tiles out of a 15 tier board. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 on a 15 tier board. And this is obviously without all of the things that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. The heroic item, a max heroic item, the cooldown on a heroic item, and I have 10 gold spots that I was able to efficiently use the entire game. It gets to the point where you have more gold tiles than you know what to do with. It's madness. I love it.